Hey guys, it's Kaylee from K-Books and this is my wrap-up post for December 2013. So I managed to read 7 books in December, but a lot of them were ebooks, so I only actually have one hard copy to show you. The first book I read was a beta read and it was Masked by Janelle Stalder. This is the second book in the New World series and it's a new adult dystopia series. I gave this one 5 stars. I absolutely love Janelle. She's a really good friend of mine and I always beta read all of her books and I just love them. She's a fantastic author and if you haven't yet read this series I would suggest that you do so because it's brilliant. The next book I read was Tiger Lily by Jodi Lynn Anderson and this is a young adult fairy tale retelling fantasy book and it's about Peter Pan and it tells Peter Pan and Tiger Lily's story before Wendy came to Neverland, and it's actually told from the point of view of Tinkerbell. This is such a great book. I gave it 4 stars. I absolutely loved it, but it did take me quite a while to get through it. It's not very thick, but it did take me quite a while to read it, so that's why I sort of knocked a star off. The third book I read is Castle Hill by Samantha Young. This is book 2.5 in the On Dublin Street series and it's a novella about Joss and Braden who are in the first book. I've only actually read the first book and so I've skipped book 2 and then went ahead and read the novella that comes after book 2 just because it was about Joss and Braden and I really wanted to see what had happened to them and everything. I loved it. I gave it 5 stars. The next book is also a novella and it was Fracture Me by Tahereh Mafi. This is the 2.5 novella in the Shatter Me series and it's a young adult dystopia. I love this series and I was really excited for this novella because it was Adam's story and Adam's my favourite character in the series. But I just didn't like it. I gave it 2 stars. I felt, even though I don't like Warner in this series, he's sort of the bad guy to me, I just don't like him. And when he got his own novella after the first book, I felt that even though I didn't like him, it gave something to the story. There was something important that you got to see ready for book 2. With the Adam novella, I feel like it was just wrote for the sake of there being an Adam novella. It added nothing whatsoever to the story for me, and I just think that that novella was a little bit pointless and we didn't really need it. The next book I read was A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I have never read this before and I read it on Christmas Eve. I gave it 5 stars. It was brilliant. I knew I would love it. I love Charles Dickens. I've read many of his other work and one of my best friends reads A Christmas Carol every year at Christmas time and she's been bugging me for about a year that I have to read it. So I finally did and it was brilliant. Everyone knows the story of A Christmas Carol so I'm not going to go into it, but yeah, I really liked it. It was 5 stars. The next book I read was White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the first book in the Dark Elements series and I gave it 5 stars. It was phenomenal. I'm not a huge fan of the covers of this series because I just think they're a bit too light and they look like a contemporary. And this is a young adult paranormal and it is about gargoyles, which is completely new and unique and I've never read a book about gargoyles before and I absolutely loved it. I love Jennifer. Everyone knows I love Jennifer. She is my favourite author in the whole world and White Hot Kiss comes out in February 25th. So you have to look out for it because it's absolutely fantastic. The prequel, which is equally as amazing, Bittersweet Love, is available now for ebook download. And the last book I read is Until Fountain Bridge by Samantha Young. So I read Castle Hill, which was book 2.5, and then I went back and read 1.5, which is Braden's sister's story, and it was fantastic. I gave it 5 stars. I loved it. Samantha Young is one of my favourite authors now, and this series is an adult contemporary romance series and it's just fantastic. I have book 2 still to read, so I'm hoping to read that very, very soon. That's all I read this month. So my top 3. Number 3 was Masked by Janelle Stoll. 2 was Castle Hill by Samantha Young. And number 1, as you've probably guessed, is White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout. And my book of the year, my favourite book of the year, is actually White Hot Kiss. It's just fantastic. Loved it. There is a top 10 books of the year, which doesn't include White Hot Kiss because I hadn't read it when I posted it, which I'll leave the linky below so that you can go and check that out. So, thanks for watching. Hope you all had a wonderful Christmas and New Year, and here's to a great 2014. Thanks for watching.